Hi friends, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. Today is February 3rd, February 13th, 2014. Time for our daily chart review. For those of you who are joining us each day at around 8:15 New York time, that's 1:15 GMT. I review the daily charts on 20-some Forex pairs, share the trades that I'm placing, the updates to my positions in the market that I'm making, and all part of the learning process. If you're confused by any of the jargon in this video or just want to review things, have questions, join us over at InformedTrades.com, a big archive of learning material, all to help traders learn. Big community as well. Okay, so now we are here on the screen now. In terms of, let's actually recap. Just 1 second. Let me get my other computer that has my trades on up. Just a second. Okay, so last night I now have two positions on. Let's actually start with, and I feature this on Informed Trades as well. Okay, so this position I had on in the market, it had my entry. What's going on here actually? Okay, so it's still loading. Had it wrong. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's not it, but we can get. Okay. Okay, so there, you see it hit my profit target, actually went above it. I could have, in hindsight, I could have targeted, the all-time high. That might have made more sense, would have got me an extra 50 pips. But I went with that target. I thought that was a clear resistance level. But anyway, this was a great setup. I highlighted this on Informed Trades. This is one of my favorite setups I've seen, and it worked very well. This was a minimum. If you entered here, there was very few pullbacks. This was an easy trade. And easy, I mean psychologically, because it just kept going up as soon as you entered here. The entry signal was very clear. It rallied immediately. It kept going. So I thought this was a great trade. Anyway, it hit my target profit, so I'm out. That happened last night. Euro pound is another one I have on. And okay, so now we have closed below this orange line, and now that means I'm going to move my stop on euro pound to break even. Okay, so that's significant because that means all of the trades I have on at the moment, I've only got one other, which is Kiwi US. Kiwi US dollar, let's go to that. Well, actually, okay, so just while we're looking at euro pound, it closed below here, so I move my stop to break even, right? So I'm moving my stop actually, or I might as well delete this line because the stop is now here. I guess I'll turn that red. Okay, so this stop is red. I entered here. That's where my entry point is. I closed below this orange line, so that's when I moved my stop from where it was here to here. Now, if my stop gets hit, if the market retraces all the way, chances are if it retraces all the way, I'll close it out before it hits the stop. But I do like to definitely hold on to the target profit down here. And I'm going to actually, let's extend this all the way. Okay. Now I may, I think what I would do, if we're optimistic and it starts approaching this target, I think I'd rather take half of my position off at this green line, and the remaining targeting the bottom of this price channel. So we'll see. Okay. Yeah, so I moved my stop to break even. No real other activity. It did rally a bit, so maybe we're headed back up, maybe we're headed towards the stop. But if my stop gets hit, my account balance will not decline. So my stop is at break even. That's basically what I mean by that. The other trade I have on at the moment is Kiwi dollar. I've had this trade on for, seems like a while now. I entered, where did I enter? Oh yes, this came within 1 pip of hitting my stop. So I entered, I think maybe on this candle, something like that. In any event, it is now, my stop is now a break even. I took half off. Where did I take half off? Here. It came very close to hitting my target profit yesterday, which is this green line. No real action to take at this moment. Still just holding on to Kiwi dollar. From this perspective, I have 2 positions on, but my stops is at break even on both of them. So if the market completely reverses against me and my stop gets hit, my account balance will not decline. So from this perspective, I mentioned this before. I have no risk exposure really. So I'm free to put on risk 1% of my account. Basically, I'm viewing this like I don't have any positions on, because from my perspective, if the stop gets hit, I'm not going to lose any money. So that frees up my risk. Okay, starting with the euro pairs, euro Australian dollar. Let's actually. Okay. Euro Australian dollar. Looks like I missed the boat on this. I talked about going long Euro Aussie here yesterday. What I was waiting for and did not happen is short Aussie. So I thought rather than have exposure to the Australian dollar, yeah, so I was hoping for this entry order to get filled, for price to retrace to this level. It did not. It just went down without me. So let's look at Euro Aussie again. Okay, now I might put an entry order on here to go long. It probably won't get filled because we had that big red candle, or big green candle. But I will at least consider going long the Euro Australian dollar. We'll come back to that. As is customary, I like to at least identify what to keep in mind, and then return back at the end to place any trades. Euro Canadian dollar. Yeah. So this rally a little bit. The Canadian dollar has lost so much value. I just needed more of a decline to really feel comfortable entering. That hasn't happened yet. So that black line, what's that we're at? Really, it's like 148, basically 1.48. That's sort of, we can fall back there. So still about 250 pips to go or so. We'll see. Okay, euro pound we looked at, euro yen. Okay, so I've got my entry order here at this black line. The logic is really based on the weekly chart, so let's zoom out there. Okay, so we went up, we came down, we found support here, which is a major support level going back to here. So if we can come back to 137.80, I'll look to enter with a target of 144.81. Okay, back to daily. So just waiting on euro yen. That entry order is there, but still got to fall 150 pips or so, a little more than that. Euro Kiwi. Okay, let's actually need to keep. Let's make the border a little thinner, and let's also extend it. Okay. So there's the question of, do I want to view this as a legitimate support level? And possibly I do, but let's actually also draw a trend line here. We can go from this swing low that'd be one way of drawing it. Another way would be to go from the edges. Okay, so from this perspective, we are also at a trend line here that has now been. I'm not a huge fan of diagonal lines. To me, horizontal lines trump diagonal ones. That's sort of my perspective. I know a lot of traders will successfully not have that rule, which is fine. Everyone. There are lots of ways and lots of basically lots of ways you can analyze the market and succeed. Okay, so that's not at this position. I still want to see a little more of a trading range like we had here. If we can get something like this going again, it might be worth going. Really, what I'd like to see is a fall down to this level. This is bottom of the range. Because the price, this is definitely a range-bound chart. So I feel like I'd be forcing something, and I don't want to do that. In a range-bound chart, I really want to wait till the extreme. So probably won't do anything with Euro Kiwi. Maybe if we get a few more small candles, it really signals a breakout's coming. Okay, Euro US dollar. Okay, big rally here. So we rallied above and closed above the break of this line. And I will just extend that to the right. Okay. So we are now, and we also closed above the 50 simple moving average. That's interesting. I'm going to actually, going forward, I'm going to delete everything, all these. This. Okay, so in hindsight, I don't really regret it because I did, the pound dollar trade was the one I was going for, and that worked out well for me. This still has a pattern of higher lows, that is a little concerning. Now we broke above it, so it's a little less concerning, but let's see if we can break above here. If we can break above this. And now we do have this trend line coming up here. So really, if we can break above, close above 137.37, that might, make things a little more bullish. It would take us out of the pattern of lower highs, which I think is important. We are now above the 50% Fibonacci retracement, so there's more bullish signs here. No real trade opportunity yet, though, in my opinion, and that's fine. Okay, so let's go to the pound pairs. Pound Australian dollar, that also rallied significantly. Had our trading range here, and this was a missed opportunity for me. I shorted the Australian dollar, so I saw and we'll get to I just did it against the wrong pair. And the other orders didn't get filled, so that happens. I guess in hindsight, the learning lesson there is I had some risk exposure that I should have really hesitated, I suppose, a little bit, and should have taken the Euro Australian dollar opportunity. Still working on, of course, perfecting psychology. That is the one advantage of a purely automated system. It can help a lot with your psychology in managing the risk. But it opens up other issues, and there's a question of finding the right way to analyze the market with a purely automated system. Okay, Pound Canada, that also rallied. It rallied off the top of this channel. Still looking for a deeper pullback in the Canadian dollar. Pound Swiss. Yeah, okay. So we're in this trading channel. If we can go to one of the extremes here, that'll be interesting. But until then, I'll stay away from Pound Swiss. Pound Yen. Okay. We've rallied to the 50 simple moving average. This looks a little bearish to me. If anything, I'd be inclined to short it, which is a little concerning because I have my long Euro Yen position. But then again, the long Euro Yen position is from this side. So the yen is still perplexing me a bit. I know ultimately long term it's going to decline. Maybe not against the pound, which also has a disastrous debt situation. I've said before, pound is the next yen, and I still maintain that because their debt is just. But it's been rallying, so my trades this week are long pound. So you need to time it properly. I think that's where technical analysis is really priceless. Okay, so pound Kiwi is still in this trading range. This opportunity would have worked out well. I did not take it. I had the entry orders on. In hindsight, I think I could have been a little more aggressive with the risk. Of course, it's easy to say that when it goes in your favor. But still, I think that's one psychological error I made this week. I should have been a little more aggressive with with risk. Pound US dollar. Oh yeah, we looked at this. Okay. So let's go to the dollar pairs. Dollar Canada. Yes. Okay. I'm a little excited about this. I hope it can continue falling because basically I'm looking for a big pullback in the Canadian dollar. I haven't seen it anywhere. The dollar Canada is the closest to give me the kind of pullback that I'd like. We'll see. Canadian dollar right now is rallying against the dollar, but still want to see it go a little bit further, at least 109.04. Even then, let's see if we go to the weekly chart. Does that tell us anything? And then maybe here is more meaningful. Oh. Make that red, or make that black, I mean. Okay, so that's weekly. Okay, so a fall but to 108.12. That might be. So we basically the bottom line is we still have a ways to go. I still need more of a pullback on the Canadian dollar, or again on all pairs. Dollar is closest, whether that's just because the dollar is the weakest, is one way of looking at it. That may actually be a valid way of looking at it as well. Dollar yen. Okay, close to that support level here. That's interesting. I'll be interested. Let's see how the candlesticks, if it can fall to 101.30. So we're now 45 pips away or so. And let's see what the candlesticks look like at that level. Because we have a support level there, right? Previously a resistance level as illustrated here. And it's also at a 50% Fibonacci from this swing low. So that's a pretty significant level. I might be able to go long dollar yen here. We'll see. Let me draw another trend line. And that trend line I'll draw from here. And we'll make that one a little thinner. Okay, so this one you could say, 1, 2, 3. It might be interesting. We're coming up on this area. So let's see if we get candlestick confirmation. Dollar yen, though, sufficient technical evidence, I think. This support level cannot be breached. And I really want to see, for me, is our bulls going to step in to buy here? That's sort of what I'm watching. We'll see. There are still some reasons. Well, let's see how the candlesticks appear, and then we can reevaluate it. But definitely one to keep an eye out for. Dollar yen, dollar Singapore, the last of the dollar currencies that I look at. Okay, man. So this basically just hit my stop by almost 1 pip, and then just rallied reverse against me. So that happens. I was a little sloppy with my dollar Singapore trading altogether, but when something hits your stop by 1 pip, I think that's just you were almost right, but almost doesn't cut it. So not too bad from a purely analytical perspective. Okay, but in any event, I don't see much of a opportunity on dollar Singapore yet. Maybe if it breaks back above 126.53, that could be an opportunity to go long. We'll see. I'll keep an eye out on it for sure. It needs to rally a little bit. Maybe get back in that price channel, establish this price channel as something that the market is respecting, and then I can go along and sort of target the top of the channel. So there might be an opportunity coming up. We'll see. That's it for the dollar. Let's go to Canadian dollar, Canadian Swiss. Okay, haven't gotten the pullback I wanted. Like this is the same story with the Canadian dollar, just not getting that pullback. And that's really, what you want to be in, and what I'm still working on as a trader is finding those great trends. Um, and that great trends include and riding them. So great trends are, trends that just go on forever in one direction. It's a huge move. They don't have too steep pullbacks, and when they do give you pullbacks, it's an opportunity to enter. So a trend with a price channel is, like this is right here. If you time this right and you short it, let's say here, you know, add to your position on this pullback, add on this pullback, add on this pullback. Um, and, maybe you can take a profit here a little bit, add more of this pullback here, take some profit here, whatever. But that's the perfecting that discipline, that, how to find these great opportunities. And then adding at the right spot, exiting at the right spot. I think this is the great opportunity in trading. Finding these trends, riding them, and getting the most out of them. I think with technical analysis, I think you can do a pretty good job of identifying the trend. Adding to the trend, pyramiding in is the real art, and something I'm still working on. Of course, I'm still working on all aspects of my trading, but in particular, I've made some progress, in learning to get more out of trends, really getting a great reward risk ratio, but I still have a ways to go. Okay, so that's Canada Swiss, Canada Yen. Okay, Canada Yen has now rallied back to that. Okay, so now we're in that range. Um, and we're above that trend line. The moving average is sloping down. I'll wait a little bit. If we can see, basically with Canadian dollar, I want to see, 3 or 4 days of the market in the range, and then it might be worth going long. We'll see. The yen, though, has confused me a bit, so I really want, in light of the way the yen's behaved, I want to see clear confirmation from candlesticks. And dollar yen might be the fact that we're seeing some signs of the yen's decline slowing down across the board is something I'm finding interesting, compelling, and a potential reason to go at it again. So that's it for the Canadian dollar. Let's go to Australian dollar. Aussie Canada. Okay. Now this is pulled back to the top of that, or it was in that range, it broke out. Um, hmm. I have some interest in going long here, but I really would want to see it either pull back to pull back to one of these lines here. Need more of a pullback. I feel like I'm always saying that, but it is true in some respects. I found that when I've been too aggressive and haven't gotten really the pullbacks that I wanted, it really impacts the reward risk ratios you can get and reasonably target. So I've just found it better to wait. It's much easier trading when you really are selective for the pullbacks. So in this regard, if we can pull back to somewhere right around here, 98, 70 pips to go, then we're intersecting with 200 exponential moving average. We have that soft resistance level here that I identified, mainly based on this candle here. And we have potentially a trend line from the bottom coming up, as well as that channel. So some things to watch if we can pull back to 98 over the next couple days. We'll see. Nothing yet on Aussie CAD. Aussie Swiss. Okay, this is a mirror of Euro Australian dollar, which we looked at before. And we had that huge down candle yesterday. But I think I'm going to, try basically shorting Aussie Swiss or going long Euro Aussie. Same difference really in light of the fact that Euro and Swiss are basically the same pair. Very little difference. Yeah, so shorting, and this is a trade that I've tried before, haven't gotten filled on. But I think I might do this. I think I'll probably do it with Aussie Swiss, excuse me. We'll see. Yesterday was obviously the candle to enter on. I did not get that opportunity, but I'll try again today. So let's see if we can get a pullback. If we do, great. If not, no worries. Or that's part of the game. Aussie yen we looked at. This is still. Let's take another look at it. Yeah. Let me just extend this range a bit. Okay, so we're at basically the 50 and 200 exponential moving average. Had a big down day yesterday in the Australian dollar. I don't know. With this pair, I'm not really going to feel comfortable because it's been so range bound. If it can go to the top or bottom of the range, where those blue lines are, that might be an interesting opportunity. Until then, I think I'd rather hold off. It's just not a good enough trend. Very choppy on the Aussie yen pair. Okay, Aussie Kiwi. Yeah, and we do have that entry order here to short the Australian dollar. It didn't get filled. I'll try again as well as, Aussie Kiwi is looking further away. I'll try again, but now I don't really have any risk exposure like I mentioned at the start of this video. So I'm going to add that Aussie Swiss order as well, see if we can short, if that gives us a favorable pullback. But Aussie the Kiwi is not pulling back to that black line. Aussie US dollar. Okay. And I did short this and this is another pair. Basically barely hit my stop and then turned back. This wasn't the best. This was definitely a mistake on my part. It wasn't the best stop loss placement. Because you can make a case that this red line, which is where my stop is a resistance level. The market respected it here. The market definitely respected it here. So this one was my bad. It was just a poor, I don't know what I was thinking, poor stop loss placement. So the question is, should I enter again on Aussie US? The one thing that concerns me a little bit is the price is now above the 50 simple moving average, and I'm not too concerned about that. But I think it'd be better for me to short it through Euro Aussie. That to me is, or Aussie Swiss, same difference. I'll go with that pair first. Okay. Now let's go to New Zealand dollar, Kiwi Canada. Okay, we mentioned this before. It could be an interesting counter trend. I'm definitely keeping an eye out on it. Shorting at 92.11. But we'll see. I'm not interested in counter trend trading at the moment. Definitely would like to see. I'm more interested, rather than shorting at 92.11, buying at 89.70, somewhere around there. But in order for that to happen, price has to fall 300 pips. So we'll see. Until then, I'm just waiting and watching. Kiwi Swiss. Yeah, still in that range, just like Euro New Zealand. Nothing to watch here. Oh. Kiwi Yen. Yeah, so, well, the yen has put in that bottom on a number of pairs. So that's sort of, and the trading opportunity that I'm looking at is, is this really the bottom? And if so, can we buy it? We'll see. At this point, Euro Yen is really what I'm looking at for that opportunity. Okay, that's Kiwi Yen, Kiwi Dollar. Oh yeah, I got this trade on at the moment. It's going well. Looks like it may hit my target profit. Almost did it yesterday. We'll see. No real action take. So that's about it. Let's actually go back to the one order I'll be placing. I don't know if it's going to get filled. Aussie Swiss. Okay, so it needs to rally 140 pips. Seems a little less likely, but we'll give it a shot. I'll put my order on at 81.42. All right, well, the chart is already marked up. So order on Aussie Swiss 81.42, stop at 82.79, target profit 77.09. I'll have this trade posted on my blog on Informed Trades where the order is submitted. No guarantee it's going to get filled. Definitely has a bit of a retracement to do, so it may take 1 or 2 days, if at all. That's about it. That concludes our session for today. As always, any questions you have, anything you want to add, join us at InformedTrades.com. Big learning community, lots of free information, community members, all to help you learn to trade. Best of luck in your trading, and we'll see you again tomorrow.